Joining us tonight at 10, a busy night for Chief Meteorologist Matt Hines and the rest of the 25 weather team. Todd, several tornadoes touching down across central Texas.
Yeah, you can see two of them right there on your screen. The video on your left shows a tornado forming in Florence near Stillman Valley Road. The video on the right shows one already on the ground, shot by Darren Hossman, one of our loyal viewers. Thankfully, that tornado not hitting a populated area, but there are injuries and damage outside of Salado tonight.
And now let's turn to Chief Meteorologist Matt Hines for a look at our weather.
And we are looking at a severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Robertson and north and southern Leon counties. That will go here till 10:45, and still a tornado warning for northeastern Madison County. So let's go to these cells down here. Waco, Temple, Killeen, we're done, so you can rest easy for tonight. But our last gasp with this supercell, this one started in Bell County with tornado warnings. It's still producing tornado warnings. A long track supercell here making its way across northern Madison County, approaching you folks in the Midway area. So this is moving east of I-45. This is where we do have the circulation and the potential for a tornado here. The one behind it's a little bit elevated, so the tornado threat is not as high, but this one's been throwing down a lot of hail now east of Franklin. That will continue to push across southern parts of Leon County, moving closer to the I-45 corridor south of Centerville. So I think this stays south of the Centerville area. New severe thunderstorm warning associated with this for northwestern Madison County. So that's associated with the cell number 2 back behind it. This is this cell here. Let's go in and look at the velocity products here. Just to the west of Midway, here's Midway right here. OSR coming down toward the Midway area. And it looks like the main circulation is right across the Leon and Madison County lines. It's right there on the line, but the official warning is for Madison County. This will continue to push to the east and probably get out of here in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. So mainly over very rural sections of far southeastern Leon and far northern Madison counties. Midway, you'll be close to this, so make sure you take your tornado precautions there. And then farther back to the west, we don't have a major circulation with this. As you can see, a lot of green here, but we do have the potential for hail with this thunderstorm southeast of Easterly. That will continue to work its way into southern parts of Leon County. So folks around Wealthy, that's going to be close to you, and Normandy, that's right there on the county line of Madison and Leon. That will continue to work its way off to the east. This one's elevated, not a tornado producer. I know we got the hook here and it looks very ominous, but it's a little bit elevated, mainly been a hail producer as that continues to the east, and this goes until 10:45 with a severe thunderstorm warning there. But that's going to be it for tonight. Once this gets out of here, we are done out of there. So let's go to Bell County, where they are having a live press conference right now about the tornadoes earlier.
20 more calls that came in within the next few minutes. The reports were of a tornado originating in northern Williamson County near County Road 228 and State Highway 195, crossing into Bell County along 2843. West of Cedar Valley, it traveled approximately 7 miles on the ground. There were multiple agencies that responded to the initial calls, including multiple Bell County agencies, agencies from Williamson County, McClendon County, Texas Department of Emergency Management, Texas Department of Public Safety, and others all responded to the calls. We also have assets in the air, helicopters assisting land assets right now to ensure that we have everyone accounted for along the path of the tornado. At last report, we have 23 injuries reported. 12 have been transported to area hospitals. One, I'm being told, is in critical condition. The other 11 were either not transported or treated and released at the hospital. We have debris clearing that will be going on throughout the evening. Power lines, debris, trees are all scattered across roadways and properties, and so that activity will occur throughout the night. But activities are winding down through the night. There have been multiple walk-arounds and walkthroughs across the properties. We believe we have everybody accounted for, but they're double and triple checking that this evening. Be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Have you been able to make it out there yourself yet this evening?
I did.
What's your first gut reaction of just seeing the devastation out there?
Yeah, lots and lots of debris, really in the path of the tornado, which again extends several miles. There's not much left. Trees, large trees uprooted, overturned, stripped. buildings really reduced to rubble at many locations. Again, power lines, power poles scattered all over the place. It's a pretty devastating look.
This happened also quick. I mean, was Bell County expecting this today? Was there any preparation into this, or did it all just kind of happen?
Well, I think it popped up fairly quickly, as most people do this time of the year. I think they watch the media and the TV stations and the weather and their social media or wherever they're getting their weather forecast from. But we did have some weather forecasting indicating there were some strong storms moving into the area. I think that may have helped prevent further damage and maybe perhaps loss of life that could have occurred. Again, the extent of the damage is significant, and at least at this time, not having any reported fatalities is in and of itself amazing.
Going off the significant damage and the many injuries you said, is there anything Bell County residents can do that have been impacted by the storm? Is there anything the county is kind of setting up for those that have lost their home? Any advice for those that are looking for just stableness tonight?
Yes, if again, we've been on the ground out there since the first call came in. We have set up or are prepared to set up an emergency shelter if that's needed. So far, that's not been needed. The residents and the owners that have been affected out there, property owners, have indicated that it's not required at this time. So we'll continue to work with them in the days ahead for any further assistance that they might need.
Sir, can you just tell us a little bit about...
All right, you heard right there from Bell County Judge David Blackburn. Sounds like about 23 people injured, about a dozen in the hospital, one critical tonight. I know we've got Andrew Lemparski,
Yes.
right?
Yes, he is in Salado at a storm shelter. Andrew?
Todd and I'm here in Salado at the United Methodist Church, which is currently open as a shelter to anyone who's experienced damage to their homes. I'm joined here by Raleigh Correa, Precinct 2 Constable here in Bell County. Now, no one's here right now, but you were originally expecting up to 15 people, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We were at the scene over there at Buttermilk Creek, and I was talking to Major Perry Moose, and he said that Raleigh, we've got a lot of destruction here, so it's possible we might need to set up a shelter, for some people over there. So he said, could you go do that and get that set up? So we came over here to the Methodist Church. Well, we've used the shelter here before, and we set it up for 15. But then as the time was going on, he said more and more people were going with their family or with other friends and staying overnight. So it's really, we're just kind of just standing by in case there's somebody that doesn't have electricity or anything else that could still come to this church.
What kind of damage have you seen? What kind of damage have you heard about in the area?
Well, Buttermilk Creek is where as far as I went after when the tornado hit, but it looked pretty bad. I mean, I'm surprised, and I'm not sure, but I'm surprised of the injuries. It wasn't as bad, or death, whatever. It was pretty devastating. I've been to some tornadoes, but that was pretty bad. I mean, people are lucky to be alive.
And for anyone who's still looking for shelter tonight, this will remain open?
This will remain open all night long and into the next days or whatever. If they need a place to stay, we'll be glad to help them.
So again, here at the Salado United Methodist Church, just down the road, our 25 News reporter Jarrell Baker is out taking a look at this damage. Jarrell, what are you seeing out there?
Andrew, I'm here off of FM 28 and 43, Cedarville Road, and as you walk these roadways, you can still see some damage, and even as I tilt my camera down, you can see some of those trees that are down, and I'm standing in front of a down power line, and that's just some of the damage that's just in this area. Now, as I walked early in the streets where a lot of these crews were here trying to work the area and work the scenes, you could see people with flashlights going through their homes, seeing what they can salvage, because some of those homes were literally ripped from off of the foundation. And we also had several trees that were in the area and even some tanks that were down here on the ground that had burst. And I was talking with Judge Blackburn earlier when he was in this area, and he gave his first update of the night, reporting, saying that several people were injured.
People injured that we know of. We have assets from Bell County, from Williamson County, from McLennan County, and from Texas A&M Forestry Service and the Texas Department of Emergency Management on the ground and in the air. We have already done one sweep of the path of the tornado.
Now, at that time, Blackburn said that he didn't know the extent of those victims that were injured, but he said that they're still looking for the areas. Now, right now, crews are starting to wrap up here. They'll work the scene a little bit more for a few more hours tonight, but they'll be back bright and early in the morning to keep assessing all the damage here in the area. Now, they're asking people who are nearby, please don't come look and go through the roadways because it's still a dangerous scene. Live in Florence, Terrell Baker, 25 News.
All right, as we take a look at storm reports across the area, it has been a very active day, especially in Bell County, where a tornado moved out of the Florence area, and this is the one that moved towards Salado and then took a jaunt up to the north and missed Salado, at least the biggest portion of Salado's population, off toward the northwest. But again, it went along the county road here and just really sliced up some of those houses there, and just unfortunate to hear all the injuries that occurred with that tornado as it moved through. We will be down there tomorrow assessing this damage. On the National Weather Service, just talked with them. They will be sending an assessment team there tomorrow, early to late morning. So we will have the assessment on what kind of tornado and the damage that it did occur, and an EF rating with that. Also had a tornado eastern Bell County. This is about 10 miles east of Temple. There on Highway 53. That made its way off to the east, and then numerous hail reports in Temple, in Belton, golf ball size hail, hen egg size hail. Salado, we had up to softball size hail, and I'm sure a lot of damage to cars and rooftops there, maybe some broken windows as well. And then as you head back toward Killeen, we saw quite a bit of that hail damage as well. Farther to the north, a tornado reported. This got it all started in Coryell County, south of Gatesville. This is where the fire was. And then we had a tornado there for today, and numerous reports of that with video. And then in McLennan County, you were really spared. Thankfully, Waco really didn't report much in the way of anything significant. But Southern Falls down into Robertson County, we did see hail reports here from Rosebud down to north of Cameron and then off to the east. So it's been a very active day. We still have some active warnings in effect, and we'll continue to track this throughout the evening until it's done.
All right, Matt, thank you. Coming up, it's been a week of miracles at McLean Children's Hospital.
It sure has. Tonight we're celebrating Children's Hospital Week. Next, with a story of a Central Texas family paying it forward.
Where we saw quite a bit of damage. We've had Jarrell Baker there, and he's been watching this throughout the evening hours. And as we pop this up, see a lot of emergency vehicles still on the scene as of right now. And there's been a lot of tree and power line damage. You can see a tank there. He was saying that was on fire earlier, now is out. But again, numerous trees down. There's been numerous structures coming from the judge at the top of the show. Again, over 20 injuries, 12 are hospitalized, one's in critical condition. No fatalities so far being reported with this. That is good news. But again, we've had numerous reports of injuries with this, as this did go across a pretty populated neighborhood right here with houses that sit on 2 and 3 acre lots. And we do have, again, that made its way on the west side of Salado. So that's why we are going to be seeing lots of folks watching that as we get into tomorrow. So a lot to do for tomorrow, for homework and everything like that, to make sure that we figure out exactly what happened. Todd and I are back in here, and I know we've been tracking this. I want to thank the newsroom for what they did tonight. I want to thank everyone out there for trusting us with your coverage, with our coverage out here. And let's go ahead and look at what we've been looking at Bell County as well, guys.
Yeah, the Jarrell Baker's been down there for a couple of hours now. This is just outside of Salado, where they've seen pretty extensive damage. We know that close to 24 people were hurt. There's about a dozen in the hospital tonight. One is critically injured. You can see some of these homes and barns and structures that were ripped apart by these tornadoes. There also is extensive tree damage in that area. It's really just been kind of some scary moments for folks down there.
Yeah, he also mentioned there were down power lines as well, so just a lot of damage.
Yeah, and certainly tomorrow that's going to be something the National Weather Service will be down there tracking that, trying to figure out just how strong that was, right, Matt?
Yeah, we're going to have to take the radar data, and then you got to look, and you have to look at when the structures were built, what kind of structure it was. There's a lot that goes into it. It's like a book that thick, so we'll be down there tomorrow tracking that, and hopefully, again, we had 23 injured. Hopefully everyone will be okay in that. So our thoughts and prayers are definitely with those folks tonight.
For sure. Well, Jimmy Kimmel's up next. Good Morning Texas on the air tomorrow at 5 a.m.
Thanks for being with us. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.